Let's start from this wonderful vessel, a magnificent 18th century silver-gilt punch bowl. Noble and notable in size, it is capable of holding 10 gallons. It was made by the London fine silversmith John White in 1726. There is a ladle to match, also elegantly shaped in silver, with a handle ingeniously and solidly formed in the shape of an 18th century cannon. The punch bowl is engraved with the arms of Jesus College, with much swirling foliage, mantling as it's called, around the shield. It is also engraved with the arms of the donor, Sir Watkin Williams Wynn, who lived from 1692 to 1749. Sir Watkin, a magnate in Wales, had been a fellow commoner of Jesus College and presented the punch bowl to his old college on the occasion of the university awarding him the doctorate, the honorary degree of Doctor of Civil Law. This was in 1732, so the engraving must have been added to a piece made a few years earlier. The inscription, in Latin, simply commemorates the name of the donor and the occasion of presentation. Donum dedit Watkin Williams Wynn, de Winstay in Comitatu Denby, DCL, Olim Huius Collegii Socii Commensalis, 1732. This was given as a gift by Sir Watkin Williams Wynn of Winstay in the Shire of Denby, Doctor of the Civil Law, sometime fellow commoner of this college, 1732. Now, the quality of the work could hardly be higher. The gilding is of exceptional fineness, as is the overall design and shaping of both bowl and ladle. John White was one of the finest goldsmiths in the London luxury market of his day. His most famous work, now in the Metropolitan Museum in New York, is the dressing table service made for the Duke of Beaufort, a friend of Sir Watkin's and one who shared his political views. It is likely that the fine engraving on this Jesus punch bowl was carried out by Charles Gardiner, who was John White's habitual engraver. So who was the man who presented it? Who was the third baronet, Sir Watkin Williams Wynn of Winstay? Well, he was one of the richest and most influential people in Wales, so much so that one of his nicknames was simply the Prince of Wales. He came to Jesus College in 1710 as a fellow commoner. He ran up record battles and left without taking a degree. A quick look now at the British politics of the mid-18th century. The party in power are the Whigs, further to the left, and supporters of the settlement whereby the throne is held by the firmly Protestant House of Hanover from George I onwards. Now, in opposition are the Tories, of whom Sir Watkin is one. Tories are believers in monarchy and in the Church of England, often nostalgic or even active supporters of the exiled Stuarts, the Catholic pretenders to the British throne living in exile, first in France and then in Rome. Although Sir Watkin was pretty circumspect when the Jacobites actually invaded in 1745 and stayed out of serious trouble, lying low for a time on the Gloucestershire estates of the Duke of Beaufort, there is no doubt of his lifelong support for the Jacobite cause. To say that Sir Watkin was a classic Tory squire is something of an understatement. A defender of the established church, he once imprisoned a dissenting preacher in his dog kennels. His racehorse was called Old England. After he died in a hunting accident, his widow was up all night, burning papers that were enough to hang half the county. In the year he died, 1749, Sir Watkin attended the inauguration of the Radcliffe Camera on the 13th of April. The Rad Cam was designed by a Scottish Jacobite, James Gibbs, and its opening was an occasion which turned into a not very subtle demonstration of the University of Oxford's Tory and Jacobite sentiments, as well as an oration which was very big on the Jacobite code word ready at, let it or let him be restored. Sir Watkin was personally cheered wildly as a known embodiment of the Jacobite cause. Now here's a thought. In mid-18th century Jacobite circles, especially in Wales, drinking the health of Watkin Williams Wynn was something of a covert or coded way of drinking the health of the Stuart Pretender, the king over the water. So there's a nice ambiguity to the presence of this punch bowl on the festive table at Jesus in the 18th century. If the fellows and scholars are drinking the health of the donor, they are perhaps consciously or unconsciously also drinking the health of the pretender. Now, how does this fine piece of silver fit into college history? It is a marvellous reminder of the profound Welsh traditions of the college. It is a treasured and prized thing which has long been the centrepiece of the college's St David's Day celebrations. It is also rumoured that on occasion it has been used as a font in the chapel. Beyond doubt, it has long been seen, on grounds of its magnificent size alone, as one of the curiosities of the university, something that visitors to Oxford would really go out of their way to see. One last, vital question. What was drunk from this great bowl? Now the answer would appear to be a punch made of warmed ale, sugar, spices, and a shot of sherry, known as swig. Now, to quote a 19th century source, swig was almost exclusively confined to Jesus College. It is now, however, a great favourite throughout the university. On the Festival of St David, an immense silver gilt bowl presented to Jesus College by Sir Watkin Williams Wynn is filled with swig and handed round to those who are invited on that occasion to sit at their festive and hospitable board. I suspect that if you made swig with real ale, nutty amontillado, and plenty of spices and lemon rind, it might actually just be the thing for the chilly weather of the 1st of March. In any case, it is a pleasant thought to imagine aromatic steam rising from this truly magnificent punch bowl.